So let's shift gears a bit and look at the relationship of finish time with change in body mass. We have results from two races, the 2009 and the 2010 Western states. First off, what we see is that the change in body mass can be quite wide. We have seen people with as much as 10% loss and as much as 9% gain. In general, there's no significant relationship between these two variables. You can see a very low R value for both of these races. What I do want to point out, though, is that if we look specifically at the fastest runners that we tested in both years, you can see that they tended to lose over 5% body mass. So, significant body mass loss of this order probably isn't something we need to be terribly concerned about. So, the key points that we've learned from our recent research, first off, exercise-associated hyponatremia is common at the Western States Endurance Run and can occur and does occur very often in the dehydrated state. IV hydration with normal saline can cause blood sodium to drop further in a runner with exercise-associated hyponatremia. And finally, weight loss of over 5% is common, even among the top performers. So we have some recommendations based upon these findings. First off, do not use change in body mass as an indication of whether one is likely to have exercise-associated hyponatremia. Use of IV normal saline in a collapsed runner without knowing blood sodium concentration is not recommended and should be performed only with extreme caution. And finally, weight loss over 5% should not necessarily be a concern, and as a result we no longer have a mandatory hold for weight loss over 5%. Now, just a few words about treatment. With regard to asymptomatic exercise-associated hyponatremia, the appropriate management is to restrict fluid intake until urination occurs. The individual should seek medical attention if signs and symptoms develop. We're talking about respiratory distress or any altered mental status. We certainly want to avoid IV isotonic or hypotonic saline. And in the case of concern about acute renal failure, my recommendation is to just go ahead and get these people over to the hospital. Now, in the case of symptomatic exercise-associated hyponatremia, this is a true medical emergency. The appropriate on-site management is an IV bolus of 100 mL of 3% normal saline or hypertonic saline. This can be repeated twice at about 10-minute intervals as necessary, and there's absolutely no evidence for the risk of osmotic demyelination or central pontine myelinolysis from this form of treatment under these sort of acute development, when there's acute development of exercise-associated hyponatremia. So I would like to point out my colleagues, key colleagues in this work. From left to right, this is Ian Rogers from the University of Western Australia. Then Tammy Hugh Butler, currently at Oakland University in Michigan. That's me in the middle from UC Davis. Chris Stemfley from Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania, and Lulu Weschler from New Jersey. We're all very appreciative of the support we received from the Western States Endurance Run Foundation for our research. And if anyone is interested in our scientific publications, go to the Western States website, look for the research page. We have a list of our publications there with links to the abstracts. And if you'd like the full publication, or if you have any questions or comments about this presentation, please feel free to contact me at martin.hoffman@va.gov. So, until I see you on the trail, stay healthy and enjoy your running.
Leave it around for a second.